Now see this, the average number in lakhs of working days lost in strikes during each year of the period 1981 to 1990 was as under. So from 1981 to 1990, how much working days were lost? This is given. So this year on a yearly basis, this is given. So in 1981, how many days were lost? 1.5. 1982, 1.8, and so on. This is the data that is given to you. Now, what do you have to do with this data? You have to check. You have to calculate the 3 yearly moving average and draw the moving average on the graph. Okay. Now, in not only the moving average, but that moving average is also plotted on the graph to check the trend, whether this is an increasing trend or a decreasing trend, whether over the years we are losing out on the number of we are losing out on the number of days in strikes or not. Okay, that is what we will check. Okay, so how do you do? First of all, you will construct the first column, which will be for your year. Okay, the second column will be for number of days in lakhs, this for this. Okay, third column, remember, will be for the 3 year moving totals. Now what do you mean by 3 year moving totals? Try to understand. Now see, 3 years means this is odd, right? 3 is an odd number. So 3 year moving average means that whatever average you are going to get in between. Because if you know that if I have three quantities, then I will have only one middle one, isn't it? So what I do here is, in order to calculate the total, I add up all these three. Okay, I add up these three to get 5.2, and I write in between here. Okay, and because we have only one middle value, so that is why I write this this 3 year moving total against this 1.8 in between. And here what I do here is I calculate the average. How many years am I taking? I'm taking 3 years here, right? So this is 5.2 divided by 3. We'll get 1.7. Okay, for the next one, if you see, for the next value, you leave out this one. Okay, and you take the next three. You add up these three. You add up these three to get 5.9, and you write in between, obviously, right? And this 5.9, this is the moving total. What is the moving average? This is 5.9 divided by 3, right? Which will give you 1.967. Now, why have I approximated this to 2? I have approximated this to 2 because I have to plot this on the graph. 1.967 will be difficult to plot on the graph. So that is why I have taken an approximation of 1.967 as 2. Okay, look at the next value. What do I do with the next value? Exactly similarly, now I leave out these two values. Now I take the total of these three. Okay, so this total is, I write in between 6.7, and this is 6.7 divided by 3 because we are talking about 3 years. Okay, and we proceed similarly here till we cover the last three. The moving total of these three we get as 15.4. And what is this equal to? 15.4 divided by 3. Okay, we make this table. Is this table clear?
Yes, sir.
Now, this now in for your syllabus, only odd years we'll consider. Okay, even for even years like 4 year moving totals is out of syllabus. Okay, but still, I'll just it's there in the example, so I'll just go over it very briefly for even year moving total, even year moving average. Okay, now once we construct this table, now we are going to make the graph in order to see the trends. So how do we make the graph? Look at this. Okay, now see here in this graph, what I have done is I have taken 1981 as the origin. In this, you can take the liberty of taking the origin as the first year. Okay, you can start from 1981 here also, no problem, but you will be short of space. Okay, so when you are at the liberty of starting at the origin, you can start it because we only need to see the trend values, right? We only need to see the trend, whether this is an increasing trend or a decreasing trend, right? So the years, if you see, I have plotted along the x-axis, and along the y-axis, I have plotted, see, I have taken the scale accordingly in the y-axis. See, the highest value here that I can see is 6.4. Okay, and the lowest value here is 1.5. So that means your in your y-axis, your scale should be 0 to 7, right? So that is why from here I have taken, starting with 1, I have moved till 7 here. Okay, this is the scale that I have taken. I have taken 10 divisions. Okay, better to take as big a scale as possible. Okay, and second thing is, you're not confined to take the same scale in the y-axis as well as the x-axis. You can take different scales along the x-axis and the y-axis. If you remember back in class 9, I told you that in case of a frequency polygon, you can take different scales along the x and the y-axis. Similar, this also looks like a frequency polygon, and therefore you can take different scales. Out here, I have taken the same scale. I have taken 10 divisions here along the x-axis as 1 year, and here also I have taken 10 divisions here as 1 unit. So you can take 5 divisions as 1 unit also, but better to keep a bigger scale so that your diagram is accurate, so that the plotting is easier. Okay, now what do I plot? First of all, what I plot is 1981 has a value 1.5, right? So what I do here is, corresponding to 1981, I plot the value 1.5. That means all these values that are there. 1982, I have 1.8, this value. So I plot against 1982. I plot this value 1.8. Okay, so this distance is 1.8, right? 1.8 units. So similarly, I plot all the values for the years, and therefore, if you see the bold lines that are there, these bold lines that you see, okay, these bold lines along the graph, these are the actual values. Okay, these are the actual values. Now what I do, since I have calculated the moving averages also, I will also now plot the moving average on the graph. Okay, so how do I plot the moving average on the graph? For against 1982, see the moving average here is 1.7. So against 1982, I will plot 1.7. So against 1982, I have this value as 1.7. Okay, and I have given a cross, if you see, right? Again, for 1983, what is the moving average? It is 2. So against 1983 on the x-axis, I plot 2 units here on the y-axis. So this cross here represents your uh, for 1983, the moving average for 1983, and so on. I plot for all till which value do I plot? Till 1989. See that the last value here is till 1989, right? For 1989, you have this value here, right? Now the bold lines are there. I have already drawn the bold lines. Now what I do is I draw a dotted line. This dotted line representing the moving averages. Okay, this dotted line that I have drawn in red will represent the trend values of the moving averages. Now the question is, what is the trend here? So can you see, if you see, we had started with a very low value here, and gradually the values are increasing. So this is, we call, an increasing trend. Okay, which means that the number of working days lost over the years have increased, right? Clear?
Yes, sir.
So that is how we measure the trend, by moving averages method. Okay, now here you have the 5-yearly moving average. Exactly in the same manner, we shall proceed. What are we going to do here? First column will be for the years, next column will be for the number of students, and third column will be for 5-year moving totals. Now this is 5 years, not 3 years. So obviously the center will be here, right? So according to, if the center is here, you will write the moving total corresponding to this value. Okay, and what will you total? You will total the first 5 values. These are the first 5 values that you are going to total. and you're going to write the total here. And how much, and what is the 5-year moving average? This moving total divided by 5 will give you 360. Okay, for the next value again, what you do for the next moving total value, you remove the first value, do not consider the first value, and then from the second value you take the next 5. Okay, this 5 you take, and the center is now this against 392. So you write the total here and you calculate the average here. So 118,073 divided by 5 will give you 374.6, which is approximately equal to 375, so that it is convenient to plot. And similarly for all the others I have drawn, at the last you will see that the moving average at the last that I have recorded here is for the last 5 values, for these values. Okay, this is the center. So this is the total of all these 5 values, and this is the average, that is 2085 divided by 5. Okay, so now what do I do? Exactly in a similar manner, we are going to decide the scale and we are going to plot it on the graph. Okay, so I can start with 1981 at the origin, and I plot all these values. How do I decide the scale? Along, because I have to plot this along the y-axis, and if you see, the lowest value that I can see here is 317. So that means your scale will start from, let's say, 300. So say 302, and the highest value here is 4, 4, 438, right? This is the highest value. So it will from 300 it will go up till, let's say, 440. Okay, so that is why if you see on the graph, I have given a zigzag line, because I'm not, because I cannot from 0 to 300 I cannot waste the space. So that is why I've given a zigzag line, and I've started from 300 and moved till 440. So this is 300 to 440, and because I was short of space in the squares, so that is why I have taken only 5 divisions here. 5 divisions as 10 units. So 430 to 440 is 5 divisions. Okay, if I had taken 10 divisions, I would not have been able to accommodate in the graph. And then you plot accordingly, exactly similarly. So if you see here on the graph, the bold lines are the actual values, and the dotted lines will show you the moving average value, the 5-year moving average. Okay, remember to plot the moving average and not the moving total. You will plot these, the moving average, and not this. Clear? So be very careful with this. So 3-year moving average and 5-year moving average. Okay, this is an even year moving average. Okay, let's see one example here. The profit of a soft drink firm during each month of the year is given below. Okay, so in January they made a profit of 3.6 thousand rupees, Feb 4.3, and so on. Now they want to check whether our profit is an increasing trend or a decreasing trend, taking a 4-month moving average. Okay, now how do you calculate? 4 is an even, right? So even means there will be 2 centers, isn't it? So that is why in this case, we've the first and the second column are exactly as we make in the normally. Okay, but however, because this is a 4-month moving total, the center will lie in between here. So that is why I write this 4-month moving total here. So this is the total of these values. Okay, which is 15.6. Now what I do is I take the 4-month moving averages. 3.9 that I am getting is 15.6 divided by 4. Okay, and see that I am writing in between. Still I am writing in between this. I am writing in the space here, because this is the middle part, right? And I have written the 4-month moving average. And next what I do is I take the next 4 values and because this is the middle part, I write the total here 16.4, and this is the average 16.4 divided by 4, give you 4.1. And then the last column that I'm making, it is the average of these two, and I see that I'm writing here, right? I'm writing, in which part am I writing the average? If you see, I'm writing in between these two, and in between these two, which value falls? This 4.3 falls. Okay, so that is why this is 4 I'm getting as 3.9 plus 4.1 divided by 2. Is the even year clear?
Yes, sir.
And similarly, we do this for all the values. Okay, and then we plot it accordingly. Fine. But 4 years
Yes.
and but even year moving average is out of syllabus. You can go through for your knowledge, but it is out of your syllabus. What we are going to discuss here, one more problem is that uh, when the moving average year is not given, how many months you have to take the moving average here. Let us see here. Obtain the trend values by moving average method from the following data by choosing a suitable period, which means that the period is not given, whether 3-year moving average, 4-year moving average, 5-year moving average, that is not given to you. Okay. Next, you see it is given, plot the original data and the moving averages on the same graph paper. Okay. And you have the data given. Yearly, the year-wise, the data is given here and the values. Okay. Now, is it given here? What kind of uh, moving average you have to take, whether 3-year, 4-year, 5-year, it is not given. So what you will do in order to decide the best uh, moving average to choose, you will first plot these values on a graph paper. Okay, you plot these values on the graph paper and you see the bold lines. Okay, now you see that this graph has 3 crests. Crest means the highest point. What are the highest points? You have a crest here, you have a crest here, and you have a crest here. And now you see what is the interval of the crest. If you see here, this is for 1964. The next crest is obtained at 1969. So 64, and then you have 69, and then you have the next crest that is obtained here is at 1973. Okay, these are for crests. Now look at the troughs. Trough is the lowest point. The lowest point, first lowest point that I can see here is this. This is one lowest point. Another lowest point is this. Okay, and another lowest point is this. Right. Now, if you see the troughs are at what years? It is in 1965, and then it is in 1970, and then it is in 1974. Okay. Now, if you see what is the interval here, this is 5 years. 69 to 73 is 4 years, right? 65 to 70 is 5 years, and 70 to 74 is 4 years, right? So whatever crest and trough that you are getting, you take the interval of time in between, and you take the average of these times, the arithmetic mean of these. You'll get 18 by 4, which is equal to 4.75, which is approximately equal to 5. So that means you will have to take 5-year moving average for this. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
And 5-year moving average you can take once you have drawn the graph. Now you can take your 5-year moving average here in this table. Okay. And once you have got the 5-year moving average on the same graph sheet, now you can plot these moving average values and check the trend. Again, this is an increasing trend. Okay.
Yes, sir.
So that is all about moving averages.